tick into the upper bracket, or can TLN send us to our first game 3 of the day?
I was really preferring Gaming Gladiators draft up until that Bloodseeker. So like the 23 Savage, if they're going to win this game, it's completely on him. So if he's able to get enough space made for him so that he can get into that trio of items that I was talking about, Phase Boots, Maelstrom, BKB, that's not enough. He needs the Aghanim Shard on top of that, then into the Aghanim Scepter. And then we'll see what they're capable of doing. I'm just a little worried about, you know, having to contend against the likes of this break coming through from the Primal, the break coming through from the PA, and the really strong lanes that you've got in both of the side lanes.
Q in trouble? Hopefully should be able to get that blinding light push back. They're going to have a lot of slows as well. Jabs is actually coming back in, but I don't know if there's much that TLN can do to get Q out of danger. They might be able to get a return kill. Quill's also taking a lot of damage, and the Quills are starting to stack up. Celery's also in some danger.
Are they going to get away? Oh, they didn't commit onto one of them. They just got Delta split on.
Who got the first blow? Was Celery?
Yeah, same as last game. So both position 5s, love and life, being able to come into it with this one. And we'll talk about the potential for the tri-lanes. I don't think Tofu's going to completely commit. He does end up TPing on out. This is definitely a magic wand lane, if I've ever seen one on the top side. Yeah, Undying.
Bottom lane, Ollie. I ended up going down, please just that upper right click far out. His positioning is going to be really, really important in this lane.
And he just TP'd there, man. Okay. So now he doesn't have that for the next 45 seconds. So Savage is here on his own. He's going to need to manipulate this lane solo to be able to make sure that he's able to get a lot of these easy last hits for starters. They weren't able to block off the small camp, so he's able to clear this quickly enough. Might be able to get the pull, but it's the worst possible one that he could have hoped for, the Kobold camp. Double silence, nicely done.
How do we feel about this top lane real quick? Because the Undying is a hero that we've seen fallen off pretty heavily with some of the nerfs. The decay 13-second cooldown, which was a big one. It is, of course, against that strength hero being Jabs. They've got the level 2 and they're ready to go, but instant TP up.
Yeah.
Q, he's got some stick charges, so he's going to be okay as well. Still got the zombies to prove to be a bit of an issue, but it's only a little bit of chip damage. But with Tombstone use, they're still putting a lot of pressure on with this extra level.
Why not? You know, you want to take advantage of every single opportunity that you can. It's that early point into the bristleback, and I really feel like Jabs, does he need to just be survivable, or does he need to kill people? That's the thing that I'm considering early on, right? You know that Savage is going to be able to do the killing if it gets late enough, so maybe you do just go into the classic build. You do max out the bristle.
Speaking of Savage, he's in some danger. So if he actually doesn't look for the blinding light, it's going to use it to push him away instead.
Already been given a couple of tangos over by Ollie. Realizing that he might need to move a little bit further away. He needs to just focus on a little bit more attention onto Tofu. And this is what I was talking about in terms of like the skill build, right? If you do have someone with a stun or with a lot more magic damage, maybe you do go the Ice Vortex or the Cold Feet. But I really feel like we might see a few more points of the Chilling Touch from Ollie in this particular lane, just because there really is no setup at all, considering they've used the Blood Grenade and they have no other ways to be able to slow them enough.
Bit of a fight. Actually, no fight. Looks like TLN's going to be able to get both of the Lotuses. Side lanes. Meanwhile, of course, we're going to have a lot of action from top and bottom. We will take a look at how mid's going at the moment with Mikoto and Quinn. I'll hold that because bottom action continues. Never mind. Savage going to stand strong. Lotus. They feed the Lotus, and if required, he's got a Fairy Fire as well. Tofu tries to body block, but now he's going to be in trouble too. Blinding Light pushed away. It won't do anything. Savage easily able to chase him down. Now top lane as well. Q's got the snowball to close the distance. Doesn't dragging Jabs. He's trying to deal with the
neutral creep.
What the ratio. Well done.
It's maybe slightly longer on the deck than we would have previously liked, and might allow TLN to be able to get this stacked pull of the hard camp over to the left-hand side. So it's not like the lane is going to get any easier, but at least he won't lose too much farm from this existing creep wave as Savage getting dived once again. There's action all across the map. It's what TLN are really wanting, right? Because this is going to allow the Bloodseeker to just get so much more active with that thirst, with the bonus movement speed.
And again, we have two mid laners.
Phase Boots coming out too.
Mikoto and Quinn can be very active. It does look like Mikoto 25-5 compared to the 20-2. So both sides having a pretty good start as well early on.
Gonna need even more tangos on this bottom side. Tofu's been doing a really good job of just making sure that Savage is getting harassed with high frequency.
What really
acting as a roaming ward is Ollie, just making sure to see where exactly Ace is. Just dodging out there. Look at this. Ace, no cares. Ollie's like, kill me instead. I'm the one that you want, but it is not. It is 23 Savage that it is priority number one. Even moving down towards the bottom side is Tofu getting hit a little bit by some of these creeps. You'd hate to get hit by that purge from the Seder Banisher. Might get a D-ward off. Never mind, it's denied.
Oh, no, Roche. Roche! Oh my god, surely not. Alright.
I just wanted to be part of it too, you know? There's a bit of a quiet start. They didn't even do Roche last game, did they? Like, you know what? I'm part of this series too.
Are they getting bold?
They did it once. Starting on it.
Alright, well, nice timing for Roche to help out Tofu with getting denied. We'll see where he's going to look to try and TP back to if he wants to refill Quinn's bottle. Wants to go down to that bottom lane. Looks like it will be the play to mid. Might even stick around as well. Drop a ward, try and secure this next power room. We already see Q starting to make his way over.
And that nice high ground vision as Tofu might potentially reveal that he has the potential to drop down a nice blinding light, pushing Ollie back up onto the high ground and just placing that fresh ward as well.
Q should be fine to be able to get the snowball off to dodge the rolling thunder. They might even turn over to the right side. Tofu is in some trouble. Ollie and Mikoto hand in hand should be able to bring down the support on Gladiators. There will be a response though. Pretty good shards, Quinn nonetheless. Swashbuckle at the ready. He's going to be able to guarantee the power route is an illusion, which is quite nice. First Invoker early on as well.
For sure. This means a little bit less potential for these supports to have to rotate towards the mid lane. Celery just ended up walking down here. He didn't use the TP for that purpose, and what you really want to do is be trying to stick into one of these side lanes as much as possible. Just keep the pressure moving up there. Looks like he might even be starting to build up a few stacks for both, well, honestly, all three cores on Gaming Gladiators are great stack takers.
Arachio's in some trouble. These quills up to 4 now, especially with Q here. He's got a Kree wave coming shortly. You see Jabs is angling to the right side to be able to follow in pursuit. And the shards locks him into place. And this is going to be a catapult wave as well. So this damp tower will take a lot of damage off the back of that kill from Talon.
Really does feel like a much more jab style of hero, doesn't it? The bristleback, you're able to be tanky by the Vanguard, be up in their face, and use your ability to outskill people. There's not too much outskilling that goes on with a Wraith King.
That dude's just a brute. Shen strong, maybe base his spells. Are they going to be able to kill him a second time? Arachio straight back into the lane. You're going to need some nice TPs out of Gladiators. Well. They will come through the form of Ace along with Celery.
I mean, these are big TPs right now. Savage has this time to be able to play solo. Ollie able to dodge out that onslaught. Is he going to get away? Surely not.
Oh, all right. But Savage came through the portal.
This is done.
Rupture at the ready as well. Doesn't find the vision on Duracho. Forced to use it on Ace now, though. We'll try and kill the tower to stop the rotations, but Koto's here as well. So another big kill that Talon's going to be able to pick up, really minimizing how much Duracho can get out early on. Shots from Q. Celery just slips out.
It's just the little things that Gamer do so well, though, right? Like the deny to the neutral camp, the rotations at the very last second to make sure that Duracho doesn't die that additional time. They get the deny on the tower. They even force a few rotations from Talon, right? I'm sure Savage would have loved to just be sitting back, farming unopposed because he knew that Ace had made that movement up towards the top side. So the fact that they make the movement and it's not even him that gets the kill, it's Mikoto, I'm sure he's going to be a tiny bit salty about that.
It is good to see him being active, though, nonetheless. I mean, Rupture can almost always guarantee a kill, and we're going to see it not even used here for Tofu. Mikoto is able to get himself closer towards the vessel. Gladiators are trying to strike back, though. It's Quinn and Celery together. You do have Ace reasonably close by as well. That double damage rune is going to shred them apart. But the shards makes it a little bit awkward, but Savage has already tanked up way too much damage, and Quinn's already looking for the +1 kill. They won't be able to chase down Q. They will get a nice little Courier snipe.
If there is any +1 about it all, he had already bought the Javelin on Savage, so didn't end up losing too much gold on that kill attempt. And again, you know there's no Rolling Thunder you have to consider. It's again just what Quinn does when he's got these runes protected. It's a hallmark of any sort of Quinn team is that the supports are going to provide the assistance there because they know that the man is capable of providing that impact. Talk about impact, that diffusal blade only about 400 gold away.
So Ace should be able to stop the trample away. Salori's actually going to drop the tombstone on the high ground, but it's going to do nothing here. So nice little kill for Talon. Let's see where Mikoto wants to go next. He's really been on the mark with his rotations, 3-0 and 2. A much different performance we're seeing out of him. An instant look in the mid lane. He can combine with jabs. Also a great timing as well out of the tower. He's going to run straight into him. They want to go for Tofu, which is the easy kill. Finding Lab will only store this one out. Quinn will try and do whatever he can. Ace is even got a TP in. Rolling Thunder still on cooldown for 15 seconds. That's a perfect tornado. Mikoto's Invoker this game is really on point. Now Quinn's in some danger. They will have the snowball to be able to stop the pulverize, but it's a little bit too late though. And now Celery's going to look to enter with a Flesh Golem. Mikoto in some trouble, but the shards will do nothing as Gladiators. A big couple of kills to be able to slow down this momentum that the Invoker's been starting to build.
Yeah, and they could have potentially gone for a bit more of a slow play, right? They had this 10-minute siege creep there. If they just, didn't go overly deep and dive, maybe you could end up taking out another tower and start really invading into the space that Dyrachyo is still going to need to be able to get into this Battle Fury and then the items beyond.
Talon's a me time though. It's a pretty decent position in regards to the net worth and see, I wonder what the build is going to be from Savage. I mean, he's got this Mjolnir queued up, of course, with the procs, able to go through the evasion. Wonder what else you're looking to consider. I know you brought up the Scepter. When does he want to go Shard as well? There's going to be any like transition away from the the classic BKB and all some of the other items.
So, Bloodseeker is very much linear with the way that you need to play it these days. There's a reason it's only been picked once so far this tournament. It's just a tiny bit slow, and this is what I was talking about as well, right? Jabs has just the 1 point in the Bristleback passive. So again, he's going for this higher damage potential, but I'm a little worried because we saw how quickly he melted there underneath the tower. It's not like they're lacking in damage on Gaming Gladiators, especially with the start that Quinn's had.
But he's also not incredibly fat, and this stack is really going to help out from jabs. The hard camp got an ancient, I think they're both triple. And we can really see the Brister back though, once you get this Scepter Bloodstone. It's going to be a big thing if he can get it before the break though on Dire.
That's always the big thing. You can see there's nowhere close to a break being purchased up on Gaming Gladiator's side. Wanting a Blade Mail first on Ace, I would assume probably the Heart before that, but I could consider him just going straight into the Aghanim Scepter on Ace as well. But yeah, for PA, it's going to be quite some time until she considers going for that Aghanim Shard for herself.
Very impressive performance out of Quinn so far to start this game. 2-1 and 3, top net worth. We'll look to try and smoke off the back of the very early diffusal corrosion, and of course Tofu can always amplify him with the chakra. So let's see how Talon are going to be able to respond to this. Both sides scans are off the mark.
Identical times though, so both ones clearly know that something is up. Ollie right now on side Q, just acting as that little bit of a distraction. Probably don't want to be giving up both of them, right? We know the level of impact that this Ice Blast is going to be able to provide. They are lacking a little bit of that lockdown if Mikoto isn't around. So he's just hanging around in this mid lane, wants to get into that Midas so that he doesn't fall too far behind Quinn.
They want out.
Yeah, they want out completely. Feels like Quinn's going to get a lot more of his net worth off of kills, right? Obviously, taking neutral creeps is a lot faster ever since they gave mana to basically every single neutral creep with this Diffusal Blade. But look at this. The support's just taking away a little bit of the Dyrachyo farm as well.
It was still going uncontested, man, and his net worth is now just taking over the position of Mikoto. We have not seen them hunt him down so far. I mean, Savage has also been fine, 3-1 and 2. He's got his farming Celerin in the Maelstrom. But Celery's got a great read on this, that they're hunting Dyrachyo. He's going to maybe act as a smoke block, or if they jump in next to the T2 tower, could keep him alive long enough for some extra reinforcements.
Somehow don't see each other until the very last second, and there we go. They're eventually going to end up backing off as... Yeah, he ends up TPing away up on that high ground. The courier ended up giving himself away a little bit. Not the worst. It's not like Gloves of Haste really would have changed all that much for the start. And he's already got that Midas starting to get queued up as well. Even picking up the Wisdom Rune for himself.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Very similar to game 1 though, right? Where it was a pretty action-packed like first 10 minutes and then the game starts to slow down. So do you feel like there is a side that is enjoying the status quo more than the other currently?
I'd say both, honestly. Like, a lot of the plays that have been happening from Gaming Gladiators have been this trio of Pango, kotl, and the Undying, just because they've got the farm that they really need. Again, supports don't need that much. You've got the urn available on the kotl. Quinn, we've mentioned time and time again about how much farm he was able to get early on into the piece, who is going for a satanic.
Oh, wow.
And it's really just all about making space for the PA, enough said, but also the other break potential coming through from Ace.
Why is he going satanic versus AA? I'm very intrigued. Sure, the spell is quite nice, but I really this is a very interesting choice from Quinn. We'll see how it's going to work out.
Maybe just thinking that he's not the one that's going to be the main target for the AI blast. So
Ace charges actually through TLN, but the vision though, dude, again, back-to-back times that they've tried to bring down Ace bottom lane. This time they wanted to set up with Mikoto, but he gets out.
So those little decisions like going the Fated Brooch, right? Obviously with a Primal, the Trample gives you a lot of value, but even just there, we saw Windlace, Phase Boots, Fated Brooch. It's enough to be able to get him away. And the fact that it was nighttime as well, right? The movement speed buff that you get.
We'll have, of course, the set that completed for Jabs, and Ag Shard is already queued up next here for the Bristleback.
Probably that's the time that Talon really want to be making something happen, right? Level 12, Aghanim Shard on the Bristle. Vanguard should be enough to be able to provide a little bit of safety. Of course, you've got the Tusk for that extra layer of protection as well. They'll scout out the fact that Q has just freshly picked up a Blink Dagger too. So that might impact the way that people are positioning on lanes. They know that they've got a lot of burst potential with this Spirit Vessel of Ice Blast available.
The nice go from they secured the power rune for Quinn. Arcane once again potentially baiting Ace. 2k health they have to go through, but Talon, they're making their own play, sweeping through mid, potentially looking to try and connect with their strongest hero at the moment with the Bristleback.
Didn't seem like they saw. Well, now they'll definitely see things now. Ice Vortex being put up onto the high ground. They had Undying's courier up there, so instantly sees the fact that you've got an AA hanging around, and the only reason an AA is going that far forward is if they're looking to set up some sort of smoke, but dota2 once again just dodges them out barely.
Dude, I was really seeing the praises early game of Mikoto, who's still 3-1-3. Like, KDA-wise, he's looking incredible, but after that one death, his net worth has completely fallen off a cliff, and this is going to be an issue as the game goes on. You compare him to Quinn, the net worth disparison, it's really racking up, and this is the fine line, right, with this Spirit Vessel kind of cost works on how much you farm compared to going for pickoffs across the map, and at the moment, maybe he needs to consider a little bit more farming with just at least to get that Midas.
Yeah, and it's not even like it was completely on dota2 as well for that that counter out, right? The combination of wards, the combination of Celery's calls with where exactly they're looking to move. It just feels like Gaming Gladiators have way too good awareness for the movement from Talon, and they recognize that the fact that you were just talking about, right? If Mikoto's not getting kills, he's not going to scale at the same level as a lot of our cores. It's why I was really putting a lot of emphasis onto 23 Savage and the way that he's going to be able to play this game.
Yeah, really good read. But it is T1 Tower's not being defended, instant scan and ping from dota2, but Tal, they've had enough, dude. This kind of cat and mouse, you're missing every smoke and move they've made. They want to try and at least force Gladiators to take a fight by the pit, and Dire, they're not gonna take that at all. They're fine with giving this up. They've got the lineup to continue to be able to stall. You'll get the tier 1 mid, you've got dota2 freely farming with Battle Fury, so looks like they're more than okay with giving the Aegis over to Talon.
Not even wanting to get the deny off onto the mid tier 1. Obviously just pop the Ghost Walk, so doesn't want to waste that, but just waiting to see if there is any hero that ends up showing themselves. With a quick kill onto Celery.
Might not be quick though.
The boys.
Gladiators are nearby. Like his shot's gonna make it a little bit more messy. Looks like with Jabs coming through along with the Ice Blast, without a doubt they'll get the kill. There might be a Tombstone as well if they want to go for it instead. Or is it tier 1 mid they can consider?
Yeah, I don't think they want to fight as far away from that Tombstone as possible. They know that they've got Tofu as well as Quinn there as backup.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Savage, oh right. Random Rupture, why not? No farm for you for, what is it, 10 seconds? Such an annoying Rupture, what is that? It's like,
This is much more of the style from Talon that I was really wanting to see, though, right? They are playing on the Gaming Gladiators side of the map. They've hit their timings, they've got the ages. Now you've got to make sure something happens before you reach these next big items that Gaming Gladiators are going for. I mean, Ace has basically got his Aghanim Scepter now, so he can make plays. You've almost got a BKB on Phantom Assassin. She can make plays into a lot of this. So what are you going to be able to make happen? I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with the Mjolnir at this point on Savage. I think you just got to be making the most of your own inbuilt attack speed buffs coming through, and then just look to try and get into that early Aghanim shard so that you can actually look to stand and man fight.
This dire Overward.
Dire's top tower
so much.
is under
Yeah.
attack.
See the Midas how slow it is. We've had average 1640 so far. Very delayed here from Mikoto. We are about to get to that 20 minutes, and very shortly after we got the Wisdom Runes as well. Ladies, they're already ready to try and pick up this Tormentor, so see the importance of the potential shard, whoever it's going to be, whether it's Tofu
They
or
would love grab ally.
Radiant are
Celery.
Celery doesn't die.
He will. Sure, surely, come on. Ollie, you as good as Fly being able to
Bro,
predict.
my bingo has Tormentor kill.
Well, one of them's trying to predict that Sunstrike. I mean, it wasn't that close to be honest, but it was a cool read.
Close-ish.
I think, where did he Ice Blast?
No, I didn't see.
You see that clip?
No.
Of, no? That was pretty cool where Fly predicted the Tormentor was getting taken and Ice Blast and got a kill on a support and the Raid King's reincarnation. I was impressed. It's alright though, never mind. Okay. Top lane, Savage. Has to pop the BKB. It's going to be a long enough duration to TP out. Yes, it will. That is your 9-second duration though.
Mjolnir completed as well. So he's got, again, more of a farming accelerant. This is it though, right? I really want to see Talon make something out of this first Aegis. You cannot wait for too long. You know, you've got the BKB now on the PA. You've got the level 15, so that extra cast rates that you're going to be able to find the back lines and stay way far back. Let the Pango and the Primal Beast be the ones that start off a lot of these fights for you. Even just the Aghanim Shard coming through from Quinn, right? It's going to allow him to just be able to position himself to not worry about the Rupture quite as much, right? We mentioned before that it's an amazing Bloodseeker game for what the Rupture can do to all three of their cores, but if you can minimize that as much as possible through, you know, the roll-up, through the Satanic, being able to heal up a lot of that damage that's being done, and take away, more importantly, the attention from Dyrachyo, the core that you're really worried about, that's the big factor.
Finally, dude.
Grab ally.
When was the last time we had a kill? Far out. Mikoto going to be rewarded off the back of his move. The help of the Ice Blast. That is a much needed kill. It's been a very slow game like we saw last time around this time. So Aegis for another 50 seconds. Seems like they're kind of happy with at least all the farm they've been able to get. I guess we go back to the question I asked last game. Like, Talon late game compared to Gladiators, is there a side you're more comfortable with going to the later stages?
It really depends on what the itemization is going to be, right? If we eventually start to see a bunch of Lincolns getting picked up, then I'm really feeling not too great about Talon's chances, because that's going to nullify the effectiveness of this Rupture. Even if Savage gets into that level 25 Talon, right, to get an additional charge, it's just not going to be enough. And we know they've got the burst potential. I mean, you're playing with a PA, for God's sake.
Far out. PA top net worth as well. That has gone uncontested for quite some time. Deso almost completed after the BKB. Talon are going to look to smoke to try and connect him. Dyrachyo does kind of reveal himself in the lane.
Boys behind him, though. They know the Aegis is about to expire. They know that if they ever were going to make a play during it, this is the time. But once again, Talon, first Aegis, pretty ineffective. Granted, they still have a few of their own items to be able to pick up, so maybe they're just putting a lot of faith into their own scaling potential.
What do we feel like is kind of going wrong with Talon with all of their attempts not working? Is it just the props really need to be given to die with their read of the map and whenever Talon's moving? Or is it like, you know, maybe the ward placements from Talon, not as much emphasis on shoving out side lanes? Like, what do we feel like it is?
How can you do it as a Tuscan and AA? That's the thing. Even the Invoker, right? This isn't an Exort Invoker where you can, you know, use the Forge Spirits consistently just to be those ones shoving out the lane. He's trying to do it whenever possible. 4 points Quas, 4 points Exort, so he's going to have 2 Forged Spirits, but it just feels like Gaming Gladiators have the superior draft for that exact purpose that you're talking about. I'd love to see someone pick up this Lotus pool. That'd be a full greater Lotus.
Just watching 24 minutes in. 5 heroes just huddling together now. We have a Midas on Q. Like, are we really in this position again where we have a position 4 going on Midas? Apparently this is the status of this game.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of that, to be honest. I was really hoping for him to get into an Aghanim Scepter just because you've got the Bloodseeker combination, right? You've got the ability to isolate. You've got something else to be able to set up for things like the Ice Blast to completely isolate someone away.
Oh, no, man.
Solo.
They don't want to take the bait. Maybe they think there's more. They'll drop the ward. There's a sentry in range. Jab should know.
Sees it.
Activates the BKB, tries to turn, but once AC is going to be in with the break, might be a little bit easier about killing the Bristleback. They're hesitant though, Gaming don't want to commit heavily, and now with the reactions out of town for the grab ally, we'll keep him alive momentarily, but it's not going to matter. Stunned as he re-enters the living. He won't be there for too long. They want to go back in though. Savage is committed with the BKB. He's in a lot of trouble as Quinn's going to be able to target him down for the moment. Has more than enough walls to be able to bounce back off the rupture's proving to be annoying, but it will not matter in the end. And now Q can still jump over the top. Jabs is starting to stack up this damage. His Bristleback has gone uncontested. And where is Dyrachyo? Just not involved throughout that team fight. Was having a bit of a battle over on the left side. I think he killed Oli, but maybe with him there we see a different fight. But in the end, Talon, they're able to come out on top.
And Mikoto providing a lot of that control, preventing the PA from having too big of an impact. Still ended up doing the most damage on the Game Gladiator's side, but that's the power that you're really looking to see from Jabs, and they put so much priority onto taking out that Primal Beast. They still don't have the break, so you don't have this answer to the Bristleback just yet. He's put a second point into the Bristleback. Keen to see if he puts any further into it or if he's just going to prioritize the stats from here on forward.
First side.
Just like that, Mikoto's recovered his net worth.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that he has. Hurricane Pike now completed for Mikoto. Importantly, levels as well is looking good. Level 15, mid lane. The upper kill.
Doesn't have any charges at the moment on the vessel, so doesn't have that easy way to be able to combo together with a cold snap, but they're going to need it, right? Like, you popped both BKBs pretty early on Talon there, and I was a little worried for their long-term potential in that fight, but really just going to show that if you don't have an answer to the Bristleback, all that doesn't really matter.
I want to go back to something the panel mentioned previously in that last game where they highlighted the Midases were a little bit of an awkward timing where they weren't able to play with kind of the strength of the Naga's early like 3 items. I do wonder, like, if you win these fights, we're not going to feel it as much, but there is some big timings out of, 23 Savage early on. The Bristleback really importantly this hero. So if you can win the next fight and continue to stall, then sure, we're going to say this Midas is great. He's going to get sceptered at a pretty early timing. But if Gladiators win this fight, then get Roche, the map will be difficult to play with. They kill Jabs to start.
Yeah, and they've got the break now on the PA as well. She's got basically all the items she could possibly need, even going into that Nullifier next.
Can't lose that ward.
Ghost Scepter's not back.
They're going to jump Q straight onto Tofu. They should be able to blow up the Keeper alive, but once again, Sally will keep him alive. They found Mikoto. Now that's a big target to take out of the equation, but Savage is going to look to enter as well. Dyrachyo! These crits are raining down, and now Quinn hot in pursuit. But who does he want to jump though? The zombies giving them the information. Talon done a pretty good job to retreat, but the BKBs, they're not available if a further fight does break out as Quinn will jump over the top of the shards, but they will just sacrifice the life of Q, and there we go. A fight will go the way of Gaming Gladiators, and eventually they're going to be rewarded with Roshan as well, and this map will now start to shrink as a result.
That's all right. He's got the Midas. He'll be fine. Recovery Midas for the Tusk coming through. But yeah, just like you said, it really does show that if you just lose one fight, if you don't use the net worth that you've built up for that level of effect,
are they coming?
Look at how much damage. I don't know if you could look to fight this. I mean, an instant Sunstrike maybe when Mikoto comes up to see if it actually is the case. No Ice Blast and complete vision as well. Ace is acting as that frontline bodyguard.
Ice Blast is coming through now. It's going to clip on 2. You've got the Aegis been instantly taken care of. And now they won't get much value out of the break as well. It's going to be on cooldown for a little bit of time. What's the call on Talon? Mikoto's going to be back in. Dyrachyo jumps to the left side, but the BKB on cooldown. Can he activate the cheese? Gets it off for the last second, but he's still going to be bursted. Fall to 0. And Jabs is left standing in the middle of it all as well with the scepter. back is ripping Ace apart. They gotta get out. Gladiators, you need to cut your losses. But Cube jumps over the top of the hike, and that's a perfect shard placement. There is no retreat from Dire. Tofu will be cut down as well as Talon. The numbers disadvantage. It did not matter. What a fight by the pit.
That's crazy. I thought they had no chance, no BKBs, 3v5 sort of situation. But the breaks just weren't there. They were able to land the perfect Ice Blast at the perfect time. Luckily for Gaming Gladiators, they were still able to secure the Aegis and the Roche kill. It could have gone even worse for them. When we talk about those timings, I mean, Bristleback's about to get even stronger. Level 20 starting to build up a few more of those quill sprays. And it was all about that Sunstrike just providing them that level of information that they needed. Value of the Tormentors as well, right? Gets the stun off onto the Undying, means that he might get the Flesh Golem off, but wasn't able to get the grab ally there, both for the Tombstone just in general, but also that saving potential.
And wow. So many little things inside that team fight. Could have gone either way. But overall, Talon now 4,000 net worth lead. We see the power of what this lineup can truly dish out if they have this opportunity to spellcast and freely right-click.
Yeah, Jabs prior to that fight actually had picked up the Greater Healing Lotus as well, so he had that 900 heal coming in clutch, and then was still able to swap in a Vitality booster that he had backpacked at the time. So that ended up making sure he was able to survive through the initial burst, and then, yeah, just turns it around completely.
This goddamn AA shot. What a buff to the hero.
Yeah.
Like, just slowly over time. Vortex, get rid of that shard. You have an innate now where you're able to push out some of the waves and give this man a stun. That has always been, one of his biggest critiques, where team fighting stuns, you don't have that. You're also, kind of immobile and slow. That's still the case, but we are going to continue to see what this Ice Blast can do. And that was a big reason in that last fight, the stun onto 3.
That was the reason. Undying being taken out of that fight, honestly, I think it's very different if you're just able to lay down a Tombstone, if you're able to wait out a few seconds of that Ice Blast debuff.
Now you got some big talent. Savage, level 20, has that Rupture cast range, importantly. There was another 20 I just saw as well. Bristle got his, PA got his.
And a Nullifier, so they realize how much of a threat Ollie is giving them this game. He might have a Ghost Scepter, which he picked up pretty damn early on, but he is going to be the absolute priority target for them. I'm really wanting to see, when are these Lincolns going to start to come out here from Tal? They don't have the greatest ways to be able to break it from range.
This has been really the first time this series, though, where Talon have been able to get a little bit more of a foothold in this game.
And honestly, this is 23 Savage has got the Ags, and now he's got the Ag Shard as well. So this is the first fight that I'm really feeling like Savage has the potential to take it over completely. It's been all Jabs up until this point, but now that you've got 2 legitimate ones, that's scary. There's a DD bottom as well. That might be the thing that turns the tide. 6k advantage at the moment for Talon, but I mean, a PA with a DD just completely changes the rulebook.
Without a doubt. Let's see what the call is going to be for them. You want to continue maybe looking to try and deal with some of your waves at the moment. Gladiators, they are not leaving each other's side. I mean, same with Talon as well. The status of this game, how even it is. One fight still, Gladiators could even this one out. And of course, the stakes as well on the line, a potential upper bracket berth here for Gaming Gladiators.
I wonder why you even go here for Talon, because I feel like they still need a little bit of armor, right? Like the Pango, the PA, they're hitting for big, and it doesn't seem like they want to go towards an AC. I really wouldn't hate a Shiva's Guard just to provide a little bit of that slow, more importantly, the healing reduction. Because when you consider what you're going up against, right? PA with a Phantom Strike, you've got the Satanic on the Pango, you've got the Undying heal, you've got the kotl heal. It's a lot that you're going to be able to minimize.
Can they look at Jabs if he goes for this right creep? Well,
they got the vision for it. Oh, is he going to go for it though?
He may get blown up with this DD. Jab's going to run straight to them, and with the ward, they know that no one else is behind him. This is going to be a huge kill. Break is out, and his health pool just evaporates. That's a gem as well. Double gem now for Gladiators. All right, straight Rolling Thunder.
Yeah. Still pretty long cooldown on it. max level, but another 60 seconds until it's up. But Primal Beast, of course, one of the big benefits of the hero, by the way, reached level 20 now, so even more damage coming through from the trample. Pulverize already back up, and like you mentioned, that double damage effective both for the kill as well as that tower taking potential. This time, they'll remember to glyph for the tier 2 towers, so this push won't immediately result, and they're moving up onto the high ground. Tower will be able to take a little bit of control themselves too.
Though it is getting very scary with the potential of what this Phantom Assassin is going to be able to do inside the fights. That is your one thing. I mean, Talon, do they have at the moment the heroes or even the built-in items to be able to deal with it? Maybe Scepter could be frustrated and kick him out. Actually, yeah, who does Q actually even, like, what's the play with the Scepter?
Whoever gets ruptured.
Okay, pretty much. That's pretty easy, all right?
And, again, it's going to get to that point. And again, it's going to be even more effective if they aren't going to go for these Lotuses or these Lincolns, right? Where level 25 on Savage is going to result in even more carnage. It's still a fantastic Rupture game. All 3 cores, even the kotl, to be honest, are vulnerable if they get caught out of place.
He's got the
I can be looking to prioritize him, being the one to pick up this 35-minute Wisdom Rune as well.
Let's see who's going to be able to get that one. Do have a bit of, well, inside our second game here. GG should be able to get their own Tormentor, who's without the shard currently. It's Tofu.
It's like it is Savage, it's going to be yoink it up. As soon as they see the first movement speed start to come in, they're like, okay, they're doing Tormentor.
Instantly smoke as a result of that. Sunstrike, a bit off the mark. This is a scary position to fight if they continue to angle to the right side, though. The choke point area should very much favor Gladiators to be able to get the backline and also play with that Tombstone.
They know they're about to go for a smoke. They just grouped up under a Watcher that they had under their control. So right now, Jabs just wants to shove out the way, force someone to have to deal with this first. Tornado off the mark.
Oh, Mikoto being on the front, worrying.
They can retreat. This would be huge.
Rupture's out as well.
Rupture off.
He's going to have to protect himself with the Arcanine shot. He's fallen pretty low, but meanwhile, Durachi wants to jump in the middle. AC is going to fall over through as well. They're holding down Mikoto momentarily. Durachi with the burst damage. They'll deal with the Invoker. What's the call now from Gladiators? Can you look for more kills? As Q, he is isolated in no man's land as Talon can't enter Dai's side of the map, and another fight will go the way of Gladiators, and now they can look to get some more objectives.
Good God, that was good. Just wait out the Rupture. Make sure that you, with your Satanic, is able to provide the safety. And like you said, they isolated Q. Q did the right thing. He wanted to get that Walrus kick off, make sure that he was able to burn out the rest of the Pangoliers' HP pool. But instead, Celery drops the Tombstone onto Quinn, gets it inside the grab ally, means that, like you said, Tusk completely away from the rest of the boys and ends up dying as a result. Really, really well done by Game Gladiators. Full team fight coming through there. That was not any sort of individual play, that was a team understanding.
Is under attack.
Well, this top is getting shoved in, so it will be a response eventually out of Dai to be able to go back for that. There's no way they run into Savage, right?
Surely not.
Wait, hang on, are they thinking about fighting here? Tofu's not with the boys in the moment. Durachi no BKB as well. Ice Blast will clip on the right side. It separates the Phantom Assassin, and there is that combo. Rupture kick. Health pool gets blown up. Gladiators will be able to retreat, so they only lose one, but of course that is a big kill on Durachi, and Roche is up in 20 seconds. We'll see if Talon's able to scout it out straight away.
High risk, high reward. That's the Talon way. We saw that with the previous Roshan attempt. And they weren't able to secure the Roche, but they still got the successful team fight off the back of it once again. Who would imagine a team would be protecting a tier 1 tower at this point of the game? But I suppose it's really valuable, like you mentioned, with Roshan coming up in 3, 2, 1. It means that they're going to have, if buybacks are required, that additional tower to be able to TP too.
Second Roche of the game.
Oh, now. Yep, they're all coming.
Do you give Aegis to Mikoto? I'm very worried about how still vulnerable he is inside the fights, but I feel like there's a lot of other people as well can be blown up.
I'd give it to Bloodseeker personally. Okay. Like, he's almost at his level 25. Like, you can legitimately do like 40,000 damage in one team fight as this Bloodseeker. Probably more so when you're going up against like the really beefy heroes like 3 builders.
That's third rush, my bad. Okay.
So end up giving it to Mikoto. Maybe just feeling like he's dying a bit too easily, but I'm still waiting for this level 25 on Bloodseeker. He's almost got the refresher orb completed as well, so you will have 4 ruptures coming out, and I'm just doing a quick Lincoln's check. Tofu's nearly finished one up. He's about 50 gold away, but beyond that, I see nothing. 1 Lotus Orb, and Quinn just starting to work towards a Lincoln's of his own. So it really just is going to be that sort of how are you best going to use this time. If I'm 23 Savage, I'm saying give me the farm. Stop taking my farm. Let me get to level 25. Stay close by, but not close enough that you're going to be leeching my XP.
Who would you prefer to have this refresher shot on? Because Jabs currently has it in the backpack.
Feels fine enough to me. I mean, just to be able to get off 2 bristleback actives is so enormous, right? It means that whoever gets caught out is dying, unless Celery's been pretty good with his positioning so far, but it just puts so much more emphasis onto him to be able to be in that right place at the right time. And lucky for him, he's got the ninja gear to be able to play around with. So he's got his own personal smoke. I'm sure he would love to get into something like a Blink Dagger as well on the Undying, just so that you can always be there with the save.
What's a gem count as well? I know Dai had 2 before. It's like Kotl still got 1. The other one's in the fountain as well. So probably going to have to see Talon soon look to consider that. I mean, you really need these items though. I mean, Ollie has had this Hexecutor for quite some time. Q would love the Aethelins to be able to enable that combo we saw prior to deal with Duraccio.
Savage is like, stop leeching my XP. I'm so close. Multiple times now that you've had 1 or 2 teammates relatively close by to him. He's isolated now, so he should get the level 25 off the back of this. But just imagine if Gaming Gladiators were going for some sort of kill attempt right now onto that sort of area.
The rupture charges though finally, so let's see what the call is going to be. So I have plenty of time to work with the Ages. They do not have any deep vision to potentially look to smoke to. The ward's in fact still getting held.
And I wouldn't even hate the refresher being given over to Q, to be honest, right? Like double Bora's kick with whoever gets ruptured, that's pretty deadly.
Even just double punch, 3-second BKB piercing control, and someone like Duraccio inside the middle of the fight, and if Savage is able to right click him, that could just be enough. You're not going to see them smoke.
Radiant are scanning.
They are?
And is that connecting or not? It's like pinging every now and then, but
I think it did to start.
Yeah.
They're very split. They are very split. No way he shows.
Surely.
They're going to see the dagger. But I mean, they have no vision on the backline, though. They don't know that anyone else is not behind Duraccio, so it is still scary nonetheless.
Literally, like inches between being able to catch him out there. The blur nerf, not enough to be able to lead to Duraccio's death there. They're their best to be able to try and shove out a lot of these lanes, but I feel like Gaming Gladiators realize the strength of the potential high ground fight. We talk about level 25s, where you've also got it on Duraccio as well. So many more ways to be able to proc that coup de grace.
He didn't play for the Wisdom Room.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
I don't know how we're able to get that. If I lose their other as well, I mean, it's also a really big wave.
Does anyone else make that play other than Duraccio? I don't know if they do.
They're going to lose the other 2? No way.
That's just here. No. Yoink.
Oh, it's so much experience. All right.
They're kicking themselves a little bit. Yeah, instant ping out coming through. Another tormentor for themselves. Anyone lacking a shard right now? Looks like just Invoker. Not too bad, honestly. Just keeping people relatively close by to the bristleback.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot at all. So they're doing a very good job, though. I mean, Talon aren't really forcing the issue, though, on getting a fight.
They've only got 45 seconds on the Aegis. It's, again, one of these cases where it feels like Talon fights better from behind. You know, they want to be in this sort of disadvantageous position, as looks like Tofu's even going to be able to get away from a Mikoto gank attempt.
I still am just so worried. I do not care that this Pierre was nerfed slightly. Like, this here late game, it is a different beast. I don't even care about his KDA as long as he's got the gold. He's got Satanic about to be complete. In fact, I think he just went... Yeah, he's bored out. Blessing for the Scepter and Satanic getting delivered as well. So Dota2 is ready to go.
He's so huge, man. And the thing is as well, you're going to have that slightly less duration on whatever lockdown that they've got. He's been very clever about this. The aesthetics cap, he knows that he just needs to be able to withstand during the Rupture, right? It's still fantastic Rupture game. I've said it about 50 times right now, but as long as you've got the Satanic to be able to heal up any of that damage dealt, you're not only ensuring your own survivability, you're nerfing a little bit of what the Bloodseeker is able to do, both in terms of movement speed and right clicks. It just feels like a really solid itemization coming out from Gaiman. And the thing that I'm worried about for Talon is that you've waited long enough that now you do have multiple Lincoln Spears up.
I'm trying to force the issue. That is, look to Smith. They don't have the greatest power room to play with. Or at least potentially help them try and deal with some of their lane issues. They're going to take a fight around a high gun, though. You'll need to drop a ward. Celery could even use the Tombstone for vision as well.
That's not quite with the boys. He's gone for his own break. A bristleback going break up against a PA.
I see the Watcher getting taken. No pings though. Mikoto just running straight into them. It's a jump. Perfect will start. They've got the vision advantage. Instant rolling thunder. And Quinn's going to try and hunt the back line. Second use of the Rupture. Quinn's going to have to stand in the middle. Where's Q to be able to get the kick away? Now Quinn, he's isolated from the team. It's all up to Dota2 now. The Rupture's used. He should be free inside to fight. He's going to try and chase down Mikoto to the south. A quick disengage gets him out of danger. They're not done just yet though. Ace hunting for more, but Talon retreated to the safety of their high jump. Do they want to go in though?
It's just such good team play coming out from Gaming Gladiators, man, right? Like, you're going in, you're popping the Satanic, you're getting down to about 30%. Quinn able to heal up to a very, very healthy portion. And then the perfect timing from the grab ally. Not too early, not too late, making sure that if you were wanting to commit up onto that high ground, you're competing into zero vision, into a Tombstone layer down at you. And by the time he pops out, you're playing alongside of a Keeper of the Light, right? So he's going to have another set of spells to be able to play around with too, with no Ruptures left.
Raj's just ready for someone to step a little bit too far forward to blow him up. No one will give him that opportunity though, so they'll go back at a T2 tower.
It's a juicy one. Of course, this is the area that you always need to be a little bit concerned about going up against an Aghanim Scepter Tusk, going into high ground, and feels like that might be what Gaming Gladiators are looking to play for next. Find another one of these pickoffs onto Q so that you're not going to have that risk of getting kicked back with a Rupture underneath tier 4 towers.
That is a scary rune. Scary rune, and they're going to be able to find it as well. So Dota2's bottom, so Quinn's probably going to take it. Roche potentially up in 15 seconds. They've got full control of this left outpost area. Did they lose the gem as well in that fight? No. Okay, Ollie's still holding him. Still a pipe dream of this Hex.
He's getting close. Billy coming in value. Even just his own level 18 would be pretty nice. Extra second on the Frostbitten. Extra little bit of damage.
The probability is 50-50, dead even.
Yep. Feels that way. It honestly feels like Gaiman need to mess up once. Kind of like what we saw last time around, right? Like, these team fights haven't gone swimmingly for Talon. Like, it's just been really good play by Quinn and Celery in particular. They're just understanding of where exactly each other want to move, where each other needs to be, has been just on point.
Wait, this is a scary bridge to cross. Ollie will lead the charge, wants to drop his own ward, which completely scouts Talon out. Dota2 is going to be able to jump as well, but breaks in. Chubbs is in a lot of danger. Refreshes his health ball thanks to the cheese. Now Dota2 down low. They blow him up. No Dota2 for the team fight. Talon, you've got to get more. This is your one opportunity. They'll try and cross the bridge back to their side of the map. Ace wants to try and disrupt them. But the tornado clips on 4. Dota2 will bite back, but is way too far away from the team. Ace is going to hold down Savage on the right side. Ace is solo killed the Bloodseeker. Now there's a big opportunity. Gladiators, they'll need to get more out of this. The investment out of the buybacks is costly. As Quinn should stop Mikoto on the retreat. If they got protection, it looks like they do. We'll try and TP out, but the rock throw will stop him short. As Gladiators somehow come out on top.
how did he do that much damage? I suppose maybe he had the blood mist running at the exact same time as the blade mail was being popped there by Ace, but literally 100-0 on that Bloodseeker. Crazy amount of damage done by him, and now he's level 25 as well, so got even longer duration there on the pulverize. Just going to be able to completely lock people out of the fight. They're going to go for a cheeky play once again, but GG, they're not phased. They're just going to finish this Roshan and get a refresher shard of their own.
So I guess the big thing is the fact that multiple really important buybacks were used. Of course, we're looking at the Doratio buyback, and Celery's is nice, but there is a win condition now. If you killed Doratio twice, this game looks very different.
Kill him twice, it's easy.
It killed him once that time.
Once. That's the difference maker. And again, it's the scary prospect of going up onto the high ground. I want to see how much pressure they put up onto this high ground when they don't have the Bloodseeker, when they don't have the Invoker. And if Talon have the cojones to use this buyback, if Q is able to get into a good position or kick back, they might be able to do it.
Well, they're looking for maybe being able to blow him up 4-0. Celery again!
Again?
This tombstone save, and now you've just sacrificed Q's life. And Bristle's in a little bit of trouble as well with the breakout. Ace sees an opportunity to be able to charge in the middle. Savage tries to do what he can, but it's not going to matter. Now Doratio senses an opportunity. Mikoto with the tornado will disrupt. The combo's going to get laid down. Kick further inside the base. Gaming Gladiators. What can you do on the respawn? Did you see him sacrifice his life, Quinn? Or try and give an opportunity for the Phantom Strike, but the instant Hex is finally there. And now they're looking for more as well. Ace, kick back. This is the opportunity Talon have been waiting for. Ace will go down without a doubt. It's just a question of can they get more kills. As Savage will not be able to cancel Quinn's TP, but that is the dieback on Doratio. 100 seconds for Talon now.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, you had to use a couple of buybacks onto Jabs and Q. Well worth it. They were just wanting to wait things out, get that Satanic. Perfect use of the stun combination to make sure that you really didn't get too much value out of the PA. And you see the lines being drawn out by Savage. He is like, we are ending this game right now. We're not going to get a better opportunity. 50-minute creep wave, double siege creeps, and plenty of units to be able to soak up all of this multi-shots. If Talon choose, if Gaming Gladiators choose to commit that Glyph of Protection. Obviously not wanting to do it for a tier 2, wouldn't be refreshed, but now's the time. Can they do it?
If anyone shows they might just jump again, you know there's no buyback from the Pango. Quinn in the middle. Hang on, Bloodseeker, what is the damage on Savage? It's got to be really cautious, but we're going to just try and waste as much time. But again, if anyone's nearby, Q may look for the opening with the kick. He's starting to run up.
Jabs is just soft up a little bit.
Wait, Jabs?
Why not?
Dude! They're in trouble now as well. Sorry again.
Remember?
Oh my lord, these tombstones, but it is just space. One building down. What's the call from Talon?
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
All is to keep on going. They want to have this map advantage. They want to keep Gaming Gladiators fighting on their side of the map. They don't want that instant pick off into a dieback, into the inability to be able to fight. And they know it's 20 seconds until the PA is a concern.
Jabs doesn't have the greatest mana pool for this fight.
I don't think they want to take a fight at all. Yeah, they're going to clean up what is possible, and then they're going to get the hell out of there.
Look at the respect, man. Far out. Not give a opportunity. This is still just under 4 minutes where there is not a buyback for Doratio, and they have showcased they have the capability to be able to kill him inside these fights. And if you can somehow kite the primal, there does seem to be a potential damage issue.
All right, at least this time Mikoto was there on the bottom side of the river because there was another freaking double damage, but Invoker ends up picking it up this time.
Fatalist, dude. All right, let's see what Mikoto can do.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see.
Still wants to keep alacriting himself. No vessel charges is a bit of a concern.
Buyback status as a whole this game. Savage and Mikoto, the only ones on Talon. And Gladiators. Quinn's going to have enough gold in 80. And of course, the Dino AC's got enough as well.
For another move. And they find the pick off even. Q's got a Octarine queued up. I understand it. Just wanting to get more walrus kicks. I wouldn't hate seeing him go a Silver Edge as well.
It's a good ward.
Another way.
It's a really good ward. So it's going to pop.
Oh,
good reaction.
So quick. Celery, I think, has been the MVP.
Hang on, they're coming.
GG so far.
Smoke's gonna pop. Oh, is in a really peculiar position where they can just blow up the support. A quick guaranteed kill onto an easy opportunity. Use them on 4v5 and potentially more as well as Q's gonna go down. These are the heroes without buyback. Savage.
Savage,
He's not trapped himself. He can beat Gibby and TP, but you gotta make a call pretty shortly. He's gonna TP now. His ace disrupted the charge. Or stop him, but now no one's there. No one is with jabs. It's just Mikoto as well. But the Invoker, he also needs to get out of danger. That is a disastrous team fight. The worst thing that could possibly happen. As Savage is going to try and do whatever he can, but one crit jump over the top. Duracho will not let Savage get back to the base. And now they sense blood in the water. Mikoto as well. You could not have had anything worse happen for Talon. And now as a result, Mikoto, they'll catch up to him as well. Buybacks are used instantly. I guess at least the lanes are in an okay position, but my oh
See
my.
exactly where they're going, right? Makoto goes bottom, Savage goes top. Try and shove out these lanes as quickly as you can. Love to be able to just drop that Mjolnir buff onto somebody that you can't show yourself. This is ballsy, Savage. You got to get the hell out of there. They might not even care. They've got the creeps.
Under attack.
3 is enough. They're just going to go up onto that high ground. Buybacks coming up shortly. 50 seconds until the AA. And a minute until the PA, so Duracho feels confident in being able to go for this all-in style push.
Radiant's middle tower has
Got Cliff, but
Radiant structures.
it's a miracle hold. Gladiators one fight away and getting some revenge when Talon knocked them out of Riyadh. Let's see what the combo's going to be. Oh, it's not on the mark. He tried to set up with a tornado.
Still
Gonna just go for the throne. Duracho might die to the Sunstrike. That's a big start. Mikoto's putting in work in the defense. Ace will try and turn to Savage, but Q kicks him right next to the fountain. That is the damage they need to bring down the Primal Beast as well, and they have held. We are not done just yet. The Savage will also stop Celery from getting out of maybe Celery. Oh, Q, nice prediction. All right, it's able to catch up to Celery, so at least there will be a third member that does go down.
One of those members that did buy back previously, that's his dieback, even though it's up in another 5 or so seconds. But you could just see how anxious 23 Savage was there, not wanting to full on commit. He bought back himself and he's going for a freaking E-Blade, man. He just wants that extra little bit of damage. They want 100-0 people with this Rupture Kick combination.
What is this game, dude? What is this game?
I'm happy that we're getting a close one.
Yes, today's been more one-sided. A lot of 2-0s. I don't know if this one's going to be 2-0 as well. Are they just... All right, let's see. What can you do, Talon?
If there's any time to buy out, this is it. I mean, Savage could look to get into the start of the E-Blade pretty soon, but it won't change too much of anything. Second lane of Rax going in their favor. So again, the lanes are passively just going to be helping them somewhat. It's just a matter of, can you afford to wait another 5 minutes? I don't think GG is going to give them that opportunity with Roshan potentially respawning right now. It's pretty quick, 45 seconds, and they'll know it's around the top side of the map. Are we getting him? Are we getting the tier 5 items?
We may be some big items, though, nonetheless. With the Lincolns, late game Lincolns, 56 minutes in, both Duracho and Ace wanting to go down this route. So this could be just something that catches them by surprise on Talon to mess up a little bit of the spell casting. Have to keep an eye on those Lincolns inside these fights. 4 Lincolns, dude.
Allowed Quinn to be, that's what I was saying before, right? If it gets super late, doesn't matter how many ruptures you have if you're just able to Lincoln them constantly. At least it's not the old meta, right? When it was a Medusa with like 4 different Lincoln's buffs on her, you actually need to have an element of skill of being able to pop them. Tofu really wants to be able to deward this Observer, and he's making sure it's Duracho is the one that does it to not give away too much about their smoke.
Accordingly, buybacks are there now. 2 members of Talon.
Not for Talon, though.
Jabs is on the front line. They're going to try and poke at the Bristol back to start. Blinding Light pushes him out of Ace's charge in the middle with an early BKB out of Jabs. Should be okay. Looks like that's all. Mikoto's in.
Rolling Thunder's a big deal. Look at bottom.
Yeah.
It's pushing in. Someone's going to have to TP back. Do you have the shard on kotl? You don't. So I want to see if we do see Tofu look to try and pick that one up just so that you can recall Quinn back to the fight if absolutely necessary. And they'll see first that Roshan is up.
I feel that Savage is crazy. I know you brought up the Yasha and Kai before. He's got Timeless Relic.
Yep.
Very interesting.
All about that spell damage, man. Just let the Blood Rays, let the Shard and the Aghanim Scepter do the work.
There's the Shard, and as Quinn re-delivered once again, Gladiators, such a power position for them on this high ground with the ward. It is very difficult for Talon to be able to break that. They're just going to have to wait for the lane to get pushed in. That's the main thing. So they will have to go back eventually.
They've got scouting tools, right? Like you could use the handball for it. They could use the Sunstrike for it. They could use the Forge Spirits for it. Lots of things, but you just got to be careful on Ollie in particular.
Just patience.
Don't put yourself too far forward. Yep.
Patience, that's it.
It's under attack.
No glyph from Zoe. It is the road to TI. I just want to see them keep the Forge Spirit inside the pit. And they will.
All right, one person's back. Jirachi will TP, of course, again, yes, with the kotl.
We got the recall. And we got 40 seconds until potential tier 5 items, so not the worst place for GG to be holding up here, up on the top side. Then again, it's going to be moving down bottom in about 30 seconds, right? And you have to be very careful about that if you're Talon, right? Like, if you TP down bottom to be able to contest this, yeah they're actually going to set up early. Not sending those Forge Spirits up onto the high ground, so they don't know about this. So if you TP down, they're already going to be there, and then if you buy back, you're not going to be able to TP there again. So they could once again look to isolate this Talon roster. They've been doing such a good job of it so far, despite not really having the tools to do it. Really nice Sunstrike coming out there from Mikoto, predicting the fact that they were already down there. So instead, they TP down to their tier 3 tower, and they're just going to look to run it in. Still would mean that they won't have those buyback TPs, so it's going to be another one of this cat and mouse sort of games where can they just look to wait it out until their TPs are back off cooldown.
Jirachi's not here currently. Supposed to try and scout and give them really much information. Jirachi is trying to get these neutral items. One will be dropped now.
Aces as well.
No shield, okay.
Radiant are
The
scattered.
shadows from Savage.
Their shield's not bad for a freaking rupture.
Is Mikoto just trying to see if Jirachi is going to deal with this wave? I guess this is a nice thing where Talon can kind of intercept anyone looking to get to Gaming Gladiator's position.
Yep, they're using the Forge Spirits for the vision around the pit, so they know they're not losing a big objective. Someone's going to have to deal with this, so it's just a question of how are they going to be able to respond to it. It's the siege creep wave as well, right? So someone needs to be addressing a lot of these super creeps that have pushed into the GG base, but being patient, they're just getting their tier 5 items, and now it looks like the recall back onto Jirachi, and they're going to try and slip inside.
They did just TP away, though.
They know they're in. They know they're in. You got recall, man. It's going to be up soon.
It's a Sunstrike to scout. A little bit split at the moment from Talon. It's not going to matter. Roche just getting poked.
All on Sky by Pango, and it's just more time that you're invulnerable, right? Not going to be taking damage from that rupture, providing a little bit of that extra control that the PA needs.
I've spoken about how the Talon have the capability with bottom and mid getting pushed out. You see the same as well with top. It's a big wave that Ollie has to go back to deal with. It's a catapult wave as well, so they don't want to give over this full set of barracks.
This is an AA, so you can still have that big team fight impact from the base.
It is, but
Radiant's top
Finally found a little bit of isolation. No one's claimed that one right now.
Quinn, he's not going to mess around. Still rolling thunder. He's going to get to the back line. There's still a double. He's in a lot of danger. Jirachi is going to try and close the distance. Savage can't get any lives. Still back. It's too late from Mikoto spellcasting. Still, they won't get a return kill. Can Mikoto slip out of the cover of the invis though? Ace has got the detection. Pulverize slams him into the ground. The buybacks are the pivotal thing as they're already back in the middle thanks to Tofu's hell. Can they get any more off the back of this though? Ace is going to try and get onto jabs. They'll separate themselves. Two fights are breaking out simultaneously. His jabs uncontested so far, but he's not going to have the mana or the health shortly as well. As the breaks are proving too much of an issue. Look at the mid base though. Mikoto, He just brought back to Mikoto. This is an all or nothing play. Quinn's gonna need some assistance as well. They'll get the TP in from Jabs. They're going for the throne, man. Someone needs to respond.
It happened to them at Riyadh with Liquid. They're trying to see if they can do it themselves.
But they're not gonna have the numbers. Jabs is pretty goddamn survivable. Two fights again are happening to Racho. He's not with the boys. There could be an opportunity to Racho and Savage going toe to toe. We're gonna push it down to the southern side. I mean, back to right, we see Jabs and Quinn. The BKB protects the Bristle back down to the south we go. Ice Blast connects. When is an opportunity for Savage? First Hex is out, and that's all they need. A dieback on Duracio. 2 minutes without your Phantom Assassin. Are you kidding me?
They didn't die on Talon as well. They were somehow able to get away on both Jabs and Mikoto, get away with murder, forcing everyone away back to the base and Q, interrupting the TP return from Duracio as well. They're still having to be very careful about this, though. They're backing off. They're using the Book of Shadows just to try and give themselves a little bit of a reprieve against the likes of that PA whenever she tries to jump on them.
3v5, who cares?
Dire's middle tower.
Gladiators have the confidence charging at Talon. They do not want to let this Roche go.
I've got to care a little bit.
80 seconds still to get Roche and also go for the base. This is your best opportunity, Talon, to send us to a game 3.
Yeah, Mikoto's about to get an Aghanim Scepter for himself as well, you would assume. He's getting himself that little bit of extra control.
Do they go for it?
Being one of the ones that bought back, he's the one to claim the Aegis of the Immortal.
Surely, right? 50 seconds?
60 seconds, yeah. Molly not with them for now. So once again, looking to influence this top side of the map.
No way. Oh, no way. They're not going to go for the finishing blow, so we will stick around for a little bit longer.
I had before, and I'll say it again, late game Dota is where C really shines.
Dude, why is there a rapier on Oli? What am I looking at? What is this?
Attack from Rage, Ollie, do it.
It's all or nothing now. You just gotta go for it. 25 seconds. Brings one to Mikoto, BKB. They went to the tombstone. What's the call? Messy inside the team fight. There's a lot of damage from Ace. He's trying to control the backline, making space. The throne is now exposed. Talon, they're gonna go straight for the drug kill with a Stitch and Desolator. This base is falling fast. Still Duracio down for 5 seconds, and it's gonna be too long. Talon,